Global TV News Express. Vice President Kashim Shettima flags off inaugural flight for 2025 Hajj operations. In business, International Monetary Fund confirms $3.4 billion COVID-19 financial support. On the foreign scene, United Arab Emirates set to contribute gas pipeline projects to connect Nigeria to Morocco. And in sports, Liverpool's slot expresses disappointment over Alexander-Arnold's exit. Hello and welcome to all of our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe, reminding our viewers that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. Let's begin by telling you the 2025 Hajj operations has officially commenced in Imo State with the inaugural flight flag-off ceremony held at the Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport in Owerri, the state capital. The event, which drew religious and political leaders from across the country, was graced by Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, who flagged it off. Representing President Bola Tinubu, the Vice President described the commencement of Hajj operations from Imo State as a symbol of inclusiveness, national unity, and religious harmony. We'll bring you details of that event in our subsequent bulletin. President Bola Tinubu says the federal government is taking concrete steps to protect the dignity and future of every Nigerian child, noting that plans have been concluded to establish a child protection and development agency to coordinate all issues affecting Nigerian children in a unified and focused manner. The president, who was represented by his Vice Kashim Shettima, made this known during the first regional meeting of the Africa Pathfinder countries of the Global Alliance on Ending Violence Against Children. Kogi State Judicial Service Commission has ordered the compulsory retirement of a judge, Alameru Adekunle Bamidele, of the area court over misconduct. The commission also suspended magistrate Taminu Muhammad from adjudicatory duties for 2 years and issued him a warning letter. These decisions were taken at the JSC's 136th meeting held in Lokoja, according to a statement by the Secretary to the Commission, Dr. Tanko Muhammad. The Commission, however, acquitted 4 others accused of various alleged offenses. They are Magistrates Abdul Musa Mopa, Yunusa Medugu, Deborah Ebiloma, and Anuhi Safia Oiza. The Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, has called on the government at all levels and Nigerians living in flood-prone areas to take urgent and proactive steps to mitigate the anticipated impact of the 2025 seasonal floods. The forum was reacting to recent predictions by the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, which listed 1,249 communities across 176 local government areas in 30 states, including 16 in the north and the Federal Capital Territory, as areas likely to be affected by floods this year. In a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary, Professor Tukra Muhammad Baba, the forum expressed concern that the floods may worsen existing socio-economic hardships across the country. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has taken a swipe at Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, over recent remarks suggesting that the Labour of our heroes past is all in vain. Speaking during a valedictory session in honor of the late Chief Edwin Clark, Akpabio advised Obi to resolve internal crises within his party before aspiring to lead Nigeria. Our correspondent, Kikelomo Okere, completes the story.
The president of the Senate questioned the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate's ability to address major national issues like insecurity if he is unable to manage leadership disputes within the Labour Party. Akpabio says aspiring leaders must first demonstrate competence in managing party affairs as a sign of readiness for national leadership. He also raised concern about the divisive nature of the social media, calling it an unregulated space that can spread misinformation and deepen political tension. The president of the Senate urged all political figures, including Obi, to focus on unifying their parties before setting their sights on national office.
Let our brother Peter Obi, show leadership like Edwin Clark did by the crisis in the Labour Party. For a man who wants to run Nigeria, you have one of the smallest parties in Nigeria, and you cannot even resolve the crisis in that Labour Party. Is it the crisis of Boko Haram that you will come and resolve in Nigeria?
The valedictory service was organized in recognition of Clark's service as a senator during Nigeria's Second Republic. Senator paid glowing tribute, describing him as a tireless advocate for justice, a champion for marginalized, and a national figure whose legacy continues to inspire generations. A minute silence was observed in his honor. Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
We appreciate your reporting, Kekelomo. Let's cross over to the Green Chambers now, where the House of Representatives has passed for a second reading a bill for an act to establish the National Electoral Offences Commission. Sponsor of the bill, Adebayo Olusegun Balogun, explained that the proposed commission is intended to relieve the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of their responsibility of prosecuting electoral offenders. Queen Agaba has more. We'll bring you those details subsequently. The House of Representatives has resolved to urge the federal government to establish compressed natural gas conversion centers equitably across the country to give all Nigerians a sense of belonging. It also mandated the Committee on Gas Resources to ensure compliance and report back within 4 weeks. The resolution followed a motion by Honorable Aliyu Madaki, who noted that while the presidential compressed natural gas aims to lower living costs and reduce environmental pollution, the distribution of conversion centers has been uneven. He expressed concern that apart from Kaduna, no states in the northwest or northeast benefits from the initiative, despite the commercial viability of states like Kano, Borno, Katsina, and Sokoto. Some lawmakers also contributed to the debates, expressing worry over the exclusion of commercially viable states such as Kano, Borno, Katsina, and Sokoto from the initiative.
Aware that for the takeoff of the Presidential Compressed Gas Initiative, the federal government proposed to establish CNG combustion centers in some states, including Abia, Bayelsa, Cross River, and Ebonyi, with 1 center each, while Akwa Ibom has 5 centers, Delta 9 centers, Edo with 11 centers, Ekiti with 7 centers, Enugu and Kogi with 3 centers, FCT Abuja 3 centers, Kaduna with 10 centers, Kwara with 8 centers, and Lagos with 70 centers.
We are calling for the policy implementers to please vindicate this government. We know government has done their best, but let the policy makers consider Northeast. There is no single CNG center in the whole of Northeast sub-region.
But look at the entire northeast of this part of this country was completely ignored. And look at the 80% of the northwest corridor of this country was completely exempted. That is the corridors, not even the cities. The corridors where commuters will fly. And then the main aim of this initiative is to give relief to the Nigerian masses occasioned by the transitive hardship as a result of fuel subsidy.
The House of Representatives has also called on the federal government to collaborate with state governments to construct additional National Youth Service Corps orientation camps and expand existing ones to accommodate at least 5,000 corps members in every state of the Federation. The House also urged the Federal Ministry of Youth, in partnership with relevant stakeholders, to develop a clear framework for achieving the construction and expansion of these camps.
That some states lack orientation camps to accommodate and meet the increasing number of corps members deployed, while other states temporarily utilize secondary schools buildings to accommodate prospective corps members. Disturbed by the current dilapidated state of permanent orientation camps in the country, which has causing dissatisfaction due to inadequate facilities, overstretching the existing facilities, leaving core members with no options other than to be.
This resolution followed the adoption of a motion moved by Honorable Garaba Muhammad Uyi Agmofwebe, reporting for Global TV News. Let's turn to other stories for you. The Nigerian Navy has commissioned 60,000-litre solar-powered motorized borehole and solar lightning units around the perimeter at Bayanwaya Community, Kontagora local government area of Niger State. Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, who was officially represented at the event by Chief of Naval Transportation Rear Admiral Monday Unorehe, says the water project is a milestone in the Nigerian Navy's civil-military cooperation initiative. Our defense correspondent, Kikeloma Okere, has details.
Water is essential to life. It is the bedrock of food security, public health, sanitation, and dignity. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, who was represented at the event by the Chief of Naval Transformation, Rear Admiral Monday Unuhere, says the special quick intervention is to facilitate the attainment of the reinvigorated Nigerian Navy's civil-military cooperation mandate and to contribute to the ongoing federal government renewed hope agenda. It therefore urged the beneficiaries to use the facility responsibly while appealing to the people of the community to collaborate with the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies to eliminate security threats.
Avenues for the Nigerian Navy to honor its accomplished senior officers and an indication that beyond physically securing lives and properties, we are committed to serving the interests of Nigerians through other means.
The Niger State Governor Ahmed Umar Bako, who was represented by the Commissioner Homeland Security, retired Brigadier General Bello Mohammed, says the initiative demonstrates the practical value of civil-military relations which seek to build bridges between the armed forces and the community. He added that the borehole will alleviate the suffering of the people of Bayanwaya and transform daily lives, particularly for women, children, and farmers.
To respond to the people's real needs, especially in the area of water supply, has earned our administration and sincere gratitude.
The facilitator of the event, Chief of Naval Safety and Standard, Rear Admiral Abdul Majid Ibrahim, and the House of Representatives member representing Kontagora, Honorable Umar Sani Black, says the project shows a symbiotic relationship between the people of Bayanwaya community, the public, and the private.
So, my beloved people of Kontagora Emirate, this project is ours to cherish, maintain and sustain. Let us take full ownership of it, ensuring that we positively partake in the success story of this project as it serves a purpose for the good of man and for the glory of God.
The water project is strategic in many aspects. It will end the water scarcity within the community and its environment, reduce the rate of waterborne diseases within the community, and ultimately improve personal hygiene of the people living in this community.
They, however, encourage the community leaders to be vigilant of saboteurs that might want to vandalize the facility. Kikeloma Okere, Global Television News.
The Armed Forces of Nigeria says it has neutralized scores of terrorists, including one of their leaders, known as Nkwachi Eze, popularly referred to as Onowu, who has now been on the wanted list of the military. The Director of Defense of Media Operations, Major General Marcos Kangie, made this known while addressing journalists on the operational activities of the armed forces in Abuja. Again, Defense Correspondent Kikelemo Okere was there for Global Television.
The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcos Kenge, reveals that Nkwachi Eze, otherwise known as Onowu, has been on the wanted list of the military, having responsible for coordinating series of attack and kidnapping across the southeast. The troops have also taken into custody one Buhari Umar, a wanted suspected gun runner who also doubles as leader of the kidnapping syndicate terrorizing
Troops of Operation Udoka have sustained offensive operations during the period under review. Between 30th April to 6 May 2025, troops while conducting offensive operations made contact with terrorists in Osu and Idea, two local government areas of Imo State, as well as Ihaila and Ogu local government areas of Anambra and Enugu State, respectively. During the operations, also troops neutralized terrorists and recovered arms, ammunition, and some improvised explosive devices, making materials from them. Similarly, on the 1st of May, acting on credible intelligence, the troops arrested a suspected criminal in Agu local government area of Enugu State. Arrested suspect was handed over to appropriate security authorities.
It further reels out that the troops of Operation Wild Stroke arrested a 5-man kidnapping syndicate in Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State and rescued 173 kidnapped hostages, while over 204 terrorists and members of their families surrendered to own troop. Also in the South-South region, troops of Operation Delta Safe foiled all theft worth over 1.9 billion naira.
Criminals include Hassan Mohammed, Saleh Sani, Idi Yusuf, Adamuda Mai, and Hassan Bello. During the period, 430 perpetrators of oil theft, terrorists, and other criminal elements were apprehended. We have rescued 173 kidnapped hostages, while over 204 terrorists and members of their families surrendered to our gallant troops.
The military high command reiterated its commitment to remain focused in ensuring national security and welfare of its personnel as troops continue to put in more effort to safeguard the nation's territorial integrity and protect citizens from all forms of threats. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State has tasked the 2025 Amirul Hajj Committee to ensure the general well-being of the state pilgrims throughout the pilgrimage. The 2025 Zamfara State Amirul Hajj Committee was inaugurated at the Council Chamber of the Government House in Gassel, and Alhaji Garba Muhammad Tambari, the Emir of Maradun, will serve as its chairman. Kabir Hassan tells us more.
While inaugurating the committee, Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal says the team is expected to ensure a successful Hajj operation and the welfare, safety and comfort of Zamfara State pilgrims.
As an administration, we recognize that facilitating a successful Hajj operation is not merely an administrative duty, but a spiritual obligation. The welfare, safety and comfort of our pilgrims must be the cornerstone of our efforts.
He urged the committee to maintain a strong working relationship with the Zamfara State Hajj Commission, relevant federal agencies and Saudi partners to ensure smooth coordination and real-time problem solving. Hassan Kabir reporting for Global TV.
Well, thank you, Hassan. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express with Uye Agumofwebe. We have more stories coming shortly. Behind this short break, please do stay with us. The second part of this news broadcast now returns with business, where the Nigerian Senate has approved 2 out of 4 key tax reform bills, marking a major step in the ongoing overhaul of Nigeria's tax administration system. The bills passed include one to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act and another to establish both the Joint Revenue Board and the Nigerian Revenue Service. Ramsin Enoch Agbo has details.
The lawmaker's defection was formally announced in a letter read on the floor of the House of Representatives by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin during plenary. In the letter, the lawmaker cited lingering unresolved crisis within PDP, which they claim had made it impossible for them to remain in the party. They described the situation as a chronic, incurable crisis that continues to plague the party.
To formally inform you and membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and declare for the All Progressive Congress, APC. The primary reason for my defection is the high level of chronic crisis without cure and internal divisions currently plaguing the PDP.
Notably, the governor of Katsina State, along with several dignitaries from the state, was present in the chamber to witness the defection. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
A sincere apologies for the mix-up with that report. Let's turn to the foreign scene, where Pentagon says the United States military will immediately start the process of removing 1,000 transgender troops and will force out those who do not leave voluntarily by early June. President Donald Trump issued an executive order in January banning transgender military service, and the U.S. Supreme Court ruled this week that the ban could take effect while litigation challenging plays out. Approximately 1,000 troops who identified as having gender dysphoria diagnosis fall into that category, Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell said in a statement. The new Pope Leo XIV has imparted his first to the city and the world blessing in front of the crowd gathered on St. Peter's Square. The United Arab Emirates has agreed to contribute a huge gas pipeline project that will connect Nigeria to Morocco and eventually to Europe. Let's turn to sports now. Liverpool boss Arne Slot says everyone at the club is, quote, disappointed by Trent Alexander-Arnold's decision to leave Anfield at the end of the season. The England right-back, whose contract expires in June, announced he would be leaving Liverpool, a club he has been with since he was a young boy, with the 26-year-old saying it was easily the hardest decision he has made in his entire life. Nigeria's Flying Eagles have arrived in Somalia ahead of the quarterfinal clash at the ongoing 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. Aliyu Zubairu's side finished second in Group B after battling to a 2-2 draw against the Rising Stars of Kenya. The seven-time champions will face the runners-up in Group C, which could be perennial rivals Ghana, Democratic Republic of Congo, or defending champions Senegal for place in the Final Four. As we end Global News Express, let's take a look at some of our big stories. Vice President Kashif Shettima has flagged off inaugural flight Hajj 2025. Business International Monetary Fund (IMF) has confirmed $3.4 billion COVID-19 financial support. On the foreign scene, United Arab Emirates is set to contribute gas pipeline project to connect Nigeria to Morocco. And in sports, Liverpool Slots expresses disappointment over Alexander-Arnold's exit. And that's your Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. We encourage you to download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices so you can keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I'm Uyag Mofwegwe, thanking you especially for watching. Bye-bye.